1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 11 says this: "Wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do." You see, it's so important that we surround ourselves with those that edify us in the faith. It's so easy to, slip into negative thinking. Proverbs chapter 4 verse 23 says, "Be careful what you think, because your thoughts run your life." We need to spend time with positive attitudes, surround ourselves with those that edify and encourage. Spending time with negative people can be the fastest way to ruin your attitude and your mood. There's that saying that misery loves company. And, with negative people, quite frankly, their outlook and their gloomy attitude, it can really decrease your motivation and change the way you feel. And by allowing a negative person to dictate your emotions, it gives them so much power into your life. We've got to make a conscious effort to choose our attitude and choose an attitude, such as, I'm going to stay positive despite the people around me. I'm going to choose to trust and keep my faith and keep the right attitude. I'm going to choose to be grateful daily, so I can see God open up new doors. Negative people can often influence, what we think about, and perhaps you're distracted by, your work colleague who has a know-it-all attitude and, can contribute towards everything, or maybe you're distracted by that somebody who's constantly talking about negative things, and rather than think about how to improve your thinking and to spend more time thinking about positive things, you're constantly got your mind on the negative environment that you might have been placed in. You've got to pay attention to how your thoughts change when you're faced with negative people. The more time you spend dreading, fretting, worrying and rehashing, the less time you've got to devote to more productive things in your life. The less time you've got to focus on the things of God. And so we've got to make a conscious effort to reduce the amount of negative energy that we spend on negative people. I'm going to be honest, negative people can quite simply bring out the worst in us if we're not careful. Sometimes certain people seem to have the power to raise our blood pressure for one reason or another, and a normally calm, mild-mannered person may resort to yelling when he can't take one more minute of negativity. And this is the impact that being surrounded by negative people can have on us. So it's very important that we stay in a state of edification and encouragement. And if there are people, even family members, that are constantly speaking negatively over us or negativity into our lives, then I'll be honest with you, we've got to remove ourselves from them. We have to remove ourselves from those people. Now, I understand if it's, your relatives or your family, often that will be a difficult thing to do. But it's something that you need to seriously consider and seriously think about. It's difficult to look positively or look on the bright side when you're surrounded by negativity. We've got to seek out the positive people to keep ourselves balanced, to keep our minds focused on the things of God. Just like negative people can rub off on you, a positive person can also have a positive influence on your spirit. And so we've got to identify those people in our lives. So I pray that this video gives you food for thought, and I pray that this video encourages you. And remember, Jesus is the light of this world. God bless you.
It says this: our God is awesome. He can move mountains. Keep me in the valley